My name is Vincent Horn, and I'm the co-founder of a project called Buddhist Geeks. I'm also a meditation instructor, and the purpose of Buddhist Geeks is to explore the way that Buddhism is converging with the modern world, the way that it's affecting the modern world, and the way that the modern world is affecting it. Technodelics is a word that one of my close friends, Jason Lang, made up. And it's just basically describing the way that technologies are increasingly becoming psychedelic in nature, that they're able to be used to produce some of the same perception-altering, consciousness-altering effects that traditionally only psychedelic drugs have been able to produce, or intensive meditation. Think of a drug now, you think of something you ingest or smoke or swallow, something that affects your biochemistry, right? Well, computers are also affecting our biochemistry. When we put on devices, or even when we hold smartphones, they're affecting our biologies. And increasingly, they're becoming more effective at affecting our biologies. When you start adding in things like EEG headsets that are reading brainwaves and feeding that back into a program that gives you information on what's happening in your brain, or you're thinking about all the sensors that are embedded in everything, all the devices that we're wearing, and the ways that that can be used to change our experience, to inform us about what's happening, then you start seeing computers starting to act more and more like drugs. They're able to change our consciousness in fairly predictable ways. I really see like the passive EEG type devices becoming very powerful in the next 10, 15 years. As we gain a deeper understanding of what happens in the brain as people get into various states of consciousness, then we're going to be able to entrain that through EEG headsets and through things like that. So one thing that I could see for sure is that it's going to be much easier for us to sort of technologically alter our state of consciousness using these essentially mind-reading technologies. And then having that information feed back to us so we can learn how to access a certain state. And then on top of that, we're going to have more and more sensors embedded in various, embedded in our devices, but also embedded everywhere, that are going to be measuring various physiological metrics from us, like our breath rate, our heart rate, our galvanic skin response, which is like the amount of sweat, in the skin. And these things are important physical indicators for our state of mind. These state-changing technologies that I'm talking about, these technodelics, they are similar to some aspects of the traditional meditative approaches, in that some of these meditation approaches are really focused on state training. How to train to access certain states, how to stabilize those states, how to move between those states, how to investigate those states. The technologies are probably going to help us be able to do that much easier. That said, there's also part of the meditative traditions, the contemplative traditions, that are about recognizing stuff that goes beyond the changing states. At some point, usually people get tired of states, and that's when they start looking towards something that's perhaps a little deeper.